Hello, everyone. Welcome to my podcast discussion for Survivor 41, Episode 9. A couple days late this week because of some crazy circumstances in my life right now, preventing me from being able to sit down and record. So this one will probably just be a quick one, but we'll see if that turns out to be true. I might end up going on for a while. We'll see. But let's get right into the recap. The episode starts with Deshawn being upset about Heather making the plan for the vote last night messy by getting up and whispering. Deshawn is once again upset that everyone is letting Shan call all the shots. Shan thinks that Deshawn is being immature, though, in this circumstance. But Evie is glad that there's lots of fighting happening and sees it as an opening for them. Deshawn and Shan talk to each other and apologize for how things went the previous night. As soon as they finish their apologies, Shan goes right back to telling Deshawn what she thinks should happen. So not much of an apology there. Or not much learning from her anyways. Nasir confronts Heather about throwing his name out there. Heather asks Evie to back her up, and Evie tells Nasir that Heather told them to vote Nasir, so it just kind of ended up being egg in Heather's face. Ricard shares his hearing disability with the rest of the tribe, and we get a well-edited scene to display his experience. It's a nice little moment for him. Shan gets Liana, Danny, and Deshawn to go talk, pulling them away right in front of Erica and Xander. Xander and Erica are offended by that and discuss getting the others together against them. We then go to the immunity challenge, where Jeff tells them that they will split into two groups, and one person from each group will win immunity, and they will have separate tribal councils with two people going home. The winning group gets beef stew. The losing group is Erica, Shan, Ricard, Nasir, and Heather. Erica wins immunity. The winning group is Deshawn, Evie, Liana, Xander, and Danny, and Xander wins immunity. During the challenge, Xander and Deshawn last for a long time, and Liana makes some comments at Xander about how much she hates him and she hates his face. So then the losing group goes to the old Ua camp. So at the Viacana camp with the winning tribe, Xander loves the stew, sees him having immunity and an idol as a great opportunity. Evie and Xander discuss going for Liana. Liana tries to get the idol from Xander, but he immediately shuts that down. Xander tries to get Danny and Deshawn to go for Liana, since she discussed targeting Deshawn. Danny doesn't want to budge, however, and then we go to the Ua camp with the losing tribe. The plan seems obvious for Shan, Ricard, and Nasir to vote out Heather. Ricard sees Heather as not being a threat at all, but Nasir still has an idol, so he wants to get Nasir out while he feels comfortable enough not to use his idol. We then go to the first tribal council. They all sell that Heather is the obvious vote. There's a funny moment where Heather begs for an idol to fall from the sky, and at that moment, a bug lands on Tiffany on the jury. I assume these things didn't actually time out that way, but they just edited it together that way, and it was pretty funny. The votes end up being a tie between Heather and Nasir, with Shan using her extra vote to force the tie. On the revote, Nasir is voted out, and he immediately joins the jury for the second tribal council. At the second tribal council, they are surprised to see Nasir on the jury, since he had an idol and should have been in the numbers, no matter which way he went. Jeff asks everyone if they are comfortable knowing what will happen. Everyone but Danny says that they think they know what will happen, and even Danny says that he was comfortable before coming to tribal council, but seeing Nasir there made him question himself. Xander doesn't end up using his idol, and Evie is voted out 3-2. So my thoughts on the two people that were voted out. First, Nasir. My thoughts on him is that he started out in a rough spot by throwing Danny and Deshaun under the bus in the first episode, but he redeemed himself by working hard and always having an optimistic attitude. He brought a lot of fun to the season, and he will be missed going forward. He really just seemed like a very likable and wholesome person. He would go out and find food for everyone. He provided for the camp. He was their chef essentially, um, and he sacrificed his spot in one of the immunity challenges for Rice. He just seemed to actually care for the other people out there, and that is Nasir. And as for Evie, my thoughts on Evie are that they were one of my favorites right from the beginning. They also had a positive attitude throughout and helped lighten the mood in many points of the season. I think Evie would have been in a better place had they not been split into two groups. But with that happening, it was easier for the rest just to stick to their plans. Evie was a smart and good social player, but fell on the wrong side of the numbers when the merge happened. It's unfortunate for them, but I would I did enjoy the time that Evie was on the screen. Now we're left with most of the funnest people being out of the edit or out of the rest of the season. So for my review, there was another good episode. There was a twist, but it didn't really take up space from the rest of the episode, and we still got a lot of focus on the tribe's social dynamics. While the twist was probably meant to shake things up and hopefully break up the majority alliance, it seems to have backfired with Deshaun, Danny, Shan, Liana, and Ricard now holding the majority. Xander has continued to not use his idol, which might be the only way to break up that alliance now. While the vote outs ended up being pretty obvious, this episode I don't think that hurt the quality of it. I would still give this episode an 8 out of 10. So for my predictions, I didn't think Evie was in too great of a spot, so I don't think though I don't think she would have gone home had they not been split into two groups. This episode really helped solidify that majority 5 alliance, but I don't think that the others are entirely out, since the people that feel at the bottom of the 5-person alliance could use them to flip on their heads. I think at this point they want to get rid of Xander as soon as they have the chance, though I'm not sure that he's really liked by the jury at this point, since they were his alliance and he didn't help them. Of the remaining players, I think we can say that Heather and Liana won't win. Danny, Erica, and Xander have an outside shot, and Ricard, Shan, and Deshaun are in the best positions to win. All season long, I have said that Shan was my pick to win, and she still could be, but at this point, I think of those 3, she's the least likely, with Deshaun being the most likely, I think. Though I do think there's a chance that he ends up being the one who loses at the fire making challenge at Final Four, if that's what they're still doing. So those are my thoughts going forward. Hopefully I can get the next episode's discussion on Saturday like usual, but we'll have to see how things are going by then. Thank you for listening, and please like and subscribe. It really helps out.